it's February, and when you get to February, you can't take anything for granted. And I really felt like this was going to be a game that would be challenging, but not quite this challenging. We practiced very well yesterday, had a good shoot around today, and I even thought in the first 5 or 6 minutes we got the shots that we wanted. We didn't defend as well as I would have liked, but really in that first quarter we got the shots that we wanted, and just they didn't fall for us. We didn't have quite the rhythm, but we were playing hard. And we saw what confidence does for a team. Whether you've won 20 games like we have or you haven't won a game in the league like UMass. A lot of credit goes to UMass and how they guarded us, how they took us apart offensively. They did a very good job, and they should be very proud for the effort that they gave tonight. On our end, I'm very proud, maybe not of how we played for an entire game, but from about the fourth quarter on into overtime, man, oh man, you can't ask for a better group of kids. And I'll leave it with this. After the game, we had all of the coaches say something, which is a little unusual because usually only I speak. And I looked to my right, and Amadea Samashi was crying, and I felt really bad for her, and I said something to give her a little pep talk in regards, because I thought she was very disappointed in her performance. And she stopped me and she said, "I'm not crying because of that. I'm crying because I love my team." And that, in an essence, is what our team this year is really about. It's a special year, and we almost had it taken away from us. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's probably a good thing for us.
Does this go then in line with the VCU game where you had that close test that you wanted so much and you saw your team respond in a positive way? And that continues tonight where for 3 quarters there and abouts, you guys were struggling to find yourselves, struggling to find the lead, and again, you guys came through.
We did. I would prefer to have the plus 10 victories instead of these close ones from here on out. That's not going to happen though. If March is March Madness, then it's fun February, and it's going to be like this the rest of the year, whether we're at Davidson or at St. Louis or at home against LaSalle or at Bonaventure at the end of the month. I think the rest of the games are going to be like this. We certainly have a target on our back, and this has made it abundantly clear to our players, including 7 freshmen who have never been in this kind of situation before, of what it's going to take every single night when we step out on the floor.
You've mentioned so many times, again, without using the word catalyst, you had April cramping up at the end of regulation. She goes out there for overtime and again proves why she's the leader and the captain of this team. Just what can you say about her effort and the way the teammates kind of fed off that in the overtime period?
That's the most vocal leadership I've ever seen April have. She was simply an incredible leader during that time. And frankly, I didn't know if she could even play because she was cramping so bad. I had one of the officials ask me, can she play? And I said, she doesn't have a choice. And even if I would wanted to have taken her out of the game at any point, she wouldn't have allowed me. And frankly, we were going to go with the 5, 6, 7 kids that have helped get us to 20 wins, and they were going to figure it out. And we were either going to go down swinging with Amadea and Kadri in the post, or we were going to come out with a victory, and we did that. Now, with that being said, I think Angela Staffolino did a great job in her minutes, not just scoring the basketball, but defending and being physical. If she can learn the play package and be sharper with the plays, she's going to extend her minutes more. And then Bree Thomas did a great job also, especially as an undersized post.
Writing down some of the big moments of the game, I think I counted 3 for Dev with a big save with I think it was 6:02 left in the fourth, the first overtime steal from her bottom, and the third one on the inbounds pass in a minute with a minute to play, just all spot shouted. And most of those were defensive glass. They weren't offensive. They were showing that she's a total package player for you.
Yeah, I mean, Dev had 17 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists. I mean, that's a monster game, and she didn't play well. She didn't really shoot it necessarily well early in the game, and then she turned it over more than she usually does. 7 turnovers is an awful lot for her. It's an awful lot for anyone. But, Devon Air, along with April clearly showed that as seniors, they're not going to let their season end. And that was one of the things I said. The start of the fourth, I think it was actually late in the third quarter when we had a timeout. I said, guys, it's a death sentence. We lose tonight to an RPI of 240. The season's over. Everything that you have worked for since August, it's over. It's over. It's a death sentence. And I don't know if they necessarily responded to that. I think it certainly let them understand exactly what was at stake. But I think they already know that. And if they didn't, they certainly do now.
Rebounding and points in the paint were probably the two biggest contributors to the UMass advantage. In that fourth quarter especially, you guys really were well positioned, finally found that post position. It seemed like you guys were, the post especially, were not as allergic to the post finding the rebounds. What went into that maybe increased awareness of where they were on the glass in the fourth?
I think sometimes it's just how the ball bounces, but I think our effort was greater. Amadea fouled out, but her and Kadri went so much harder to the glass in the fourth, and it was very clear. And that is the kind of effort that we have to have. You can't worry about fouls, and I think Amadea does worry about fouls a little bit. Amadea and Kadri cannot worry about fouls. They have to know that Angela can come in, Bree can come in, Eniku can come in and give quality minutes, and they can't worry about fouls. I think we also did a very good job in the fourth of not allowing their post players early post position. Amadea was allowing the post to step in and post immediately, and we had to become more physical, which we did a little bit.
We've talked before about teams that are not performing as well in the A10 preparing for you guys like it's their Super Bowl. And again, tonight is a perfect example of that. What do you guys do to counterpunch that as you continue to make that adjustment to being the hunted and not being the hunters anymore?
We have a game like this. If you can't figure that out after a game like this, then what can you tell a kid? I mean, this is very clear. We are the hunted. And now with the loss of Fordham beating George Washington and St. Bonaventure's losing tonight, now we're in a tie for first. You can be sure that Davidson is they're really ready for us on Saturday. And so I don't want to have any more games like this, but it's a good win.
I know games like this before, the player response has been, wow, we're disappointed, we won, but this isn't what we're looking for. Obviously, you can tell them that this is obviously not the case. You guys pulled through in a big way with the odds potentially stacked against you. What was their response? What was their buy-in to your message and their body language as a whole?
I think that I don't think anything. I believe walking into that locker room after the game, it was very clear the leadership of April, the vocal leadership of April, the performance in the fourth quarter of Devon Air, and Chastity hitting those big shots, of our post players becoming more physical, was all a clear indicator of them starting to have an understanding of exactly how hard they have to play in February if we want to reach all the goals that we have. We can't play hard. We have to play where we're relentless and where, frankly, our backs are against the wall because we have no margin of error. And I think they understand that after tonight.